You know, I'm convinced, I'm really convinced that sometimes story writers are just outside their minds. I'm convinced that some wrestling report writers have their heads in the clouds and they forget what pay per view they just came off of. They forget that it's one of the big top 4 or 5 pay per views that WWE just came off of. Better yet, it is the second biggest pay per view of WWE's calendar year. I'm convinced. I seriously am. After the report I just got done reading, the nail is in the coffin. It really is. According to WWF old school wrestling fans, Roman Reigns has made history, a unique mark in the wrestling books. WWE this past Monday on Raw got a 3.10 ratings. Apparently, to some report, it's Roman Reigns' responsibility. He's responsible for it. The whole responsibility, his fault, his glory is put on him. Are you serious? Now, before you all look at me and say, he's just hating on Roman Reigns, he's just looking at Roman Reigns and saying, bleh, bleh. Before you start looking at me and thinking that about me, I'm not. I'm really not. Roman Reigns has beaten Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns has brought the Universal Championship back to a full-time basis on Raw. Whether the wrestling fans like it or not, the Universal Championship is back on Raw. And that's what every single fan in the WWE has been wanting, that the title be back on Raw on a full-time basis. Some fans just aren't happy with who it's on. Period. But that does not account fully why they got that rating. It doesn't. SummerSlam just happened. In WWE, if you go back and you look at their big 4 or 5 pay-per-views that won Raw or SmackDown, the fallout, their rating is always bigger coming off of the big 4 or 5. Why? Because the wrestling fans and even the casual wrestling fans want to see what the WWE is going to do with their wrestling product coming off, going into the fall, going into the summer months, going into the winter months, going into the WrestleMania season. We want to see it. And then, most of the time, especially for SummerSlam, afterwards, it kind of flickers out and the ratings drop. Some people might blame Monday Night Football. Some people will just blame the show just boring them. And then you'll have people like me who watch it whether it sucks or if it's good because we're diehard wrestling fans, and we come on here on YouTube and give wrestling reviews for all you wrestling fans. So that's what ends up happening. But to say that it is Roman Reigns who gave that rating, absolutely not. And proof is right here in your face. You know, when you really think about it, if you go back and watch it. Finn Balor, this past Monday, he got Universal Championship rematch. Something he had not gotten since 2016 when he had to relinquish that title from being injured. And Finn Balor, no matter how many times I have seen or heard him called a vanilla midget, is somebody, for the most part, everyone universally enjoys to watch on a Monday night. Well deserved. Whether he was going to win that or not, that would have been a classic matchup. Dean Ambrose back on TV. What was he going to do with Seth Rollins, the new Intercontinental Champion, Monday Night Rollins? There you go. Braun Strowman, Mr. Monster in the Bank. Would he cash in on the Roman Empire? And whether Roman Reigns got that big, huge pop at the Barclays Center at SummerSlam or not, because sometimes WWE does put in, some fan reaction. We all know it. Which, if he did get a pop at SummerSlam, it's because the title had not been on TV since April, and people are getting tired of not seeing it. Let's be honest here, okay? Roman Reigns is still not completely over with the fans. I don't care if he's with the Shield or not. But people are still wondering when Braun Strowman is going to cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase on Roman Reigns and become the Universal Champion, because that's who we want to see be the champ universally. Anybody out there want to disagree that fact? I'm begging you to. So it's not just the fact that Roman Reigns brought the title back to Monday Night Raw, okay? It's not. And if the ratings stay higher from now on, or for quite some time, I might have a different tone or a different opinion. But for right now, no. I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon or look at this report and be on the joy juice and say Roman Reigns has made history. Roman Reigns has gotten unique feat because he brought in a 3.10 rating. Something they haven't gotten in quite some time because he's the Universal Champion. Give me a break. Look at what WWE did this past Monday. On top of that, they brought the Shield all the way back together. Whether they stay together or not, they put them together for that one last second at the very end. So, it's right there in front of you. Okay? You all decide. You all let me know. What do you think they got that big rating? Do you think it's because Roman Reigns is the Universal Champion? Or do you think it had something to do with some of those other things that I just laid out for you? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe. Hit the bell. And, of course, Facebook and Twitter at 2007 Webby. Until I see you again, this is Webby, and I'll catch you on the other side. Talk to you later.